Well, as the regional New South Wales lockdown is extended, getting vaccines into remote and vulnerable parts of the state is a top priority. The Royal Flying Doctor Service's aeromedical teams have completed thousands of vaccinations, reaching communities including Dubbo, Walgett and Bourke. Joining me now live is the Royal Flying Doctor Service South East General Manager of Health Service, Jenny Beach. Jenny, thank you for joining us this afternoon. Firstly, can you take us through the work that you're doing to protect these communities?
So I think we work obviously with a lot of the other people that are working in health in the regions. We're very focused on rural and remote areas. We started right back, 18 months ago, and we've been doing COVID testing over most of last year and then into some of this year. We actually joined the vaccination rollout in late June. We started, and we are going to communities. We go into the very remote places, rural communities, and we actually vaccinate. We offer the same vaccines to the whole community, which has really been amazing. And we go in and then we go back 3 weeks later and offer them again. We have teams that are flying into remote places, and then we also have teams that drive into remote places. And they work, all of those people work with the local Aboriginal health services, health and medical services, with the local health districts and people like that to try and make sure that we can get as many people vaccinated as possible. I think the Royal Flying Doctor Service, we recognise it is a national organisation. It has a national body, and we are providing right across the country. We're actually providing vaccines into rural and remote places.
And a number of these rural areas, particularly in the western parts of New South Wales right now, are such a key focus due to vulnerable communities there. Can you take us through the logistics of getting vaccines to these areas?
So we've been very well supported by the Commonwealth Government, and we have a sort of a federated body as well. They have been sourcing the vaccines for us. We receive those vaccines for Western New South Wales. We receive them into Dubbo and to Broken Hill. From there, we have teams that are going out every single day. Some of them will go by plane, and we'll take a number of people, and we will take them into a remote community, and they'll work alongside the local Aboriginal health services and the health district. And then sometimes they will come back in the evening. Sometimes they're out there for a week or more. So they're doing two things while they're there. They're talking to people about the vaccines, because in some communities, there was some hesitancy, of course. So they talk to people about it. They answer their questions. They assist them with testing if they require testing, COVID testing, swabbing, that sort of thing. And then they also are giving vaccinations every single day at the moment.
And take us through that. How many vaccines have so far been completed, and how many more to go?
Many thousands have been completed. But we have the past 2 weeks or so, just because of what's been going on, we have more and more people out there, and so have the other people that are working in health across the district. I think the numbers and percentages of people that are vaccinated are growing like they are across the rest of the country. But some of these communities, we've had to go in, and basically there's been very few people vaccinated, and we've really had to get moving with it.
And what's been the appetite in these areas? Are you finding that people are willing to take up the vaccine, that they understand the need for it?
I think in some communities, there was perhaps some hesitancy in the beginning. We were hearing lots of different things, but not anymore. Our teams are just working really, really hard. All of the people on the ground are working really hard. Their days are absolutely as full as they can be with people now wanting to be vaccinated. There are still some people that we do need to answer some questions. I guess for us, when we work in these remote communities, we can see that these communities are really hurting now, and the health workers that go in care so much about what's going on in those communities, and you can just see that the way that they're going out there and what they're doing. They're just putting in 1,000% across the board.
Yeah, absolutely. Jenny, why has it taken so long to get vaccines into these remote areas?
So we've actually been vaccinating since late June. So we have actually been going in for quite a while now. I think just getting the vaccines in for the whole country was very challenging to begin with. But I have to say that having been in the remote communities and doing lots of work out there, that we feel very privileged to be able to go into those communities and just vaccinate the whole community. You know, if anyone that's eligible, like we moved away from the idea of 1A and 1B just simply because these communities are small communities, and when you go out there, you need to offer that vaccine to everyone who wants it.
Absolutely. Well, you're doing a wonderful job. Jenny Beach, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.